We were not at our best against West Brom, it has to be said, but we don't seem to have to be. Not to win games, anyway. And that's the third win on the bounce in the league. 4 if you include the cup. That's form. That's form in anyone's book. It really is. See us move up to 7th in the league, albeit not quite the same in terms of games played, but it's 32 points. That's crazy. I mean, at this point in January, to have 32 points, it leaves you only looking up. They talk about the magical 41 points to stay safe. I'm not going to spend this video talking about avoiding relegation. You know, it's not a consideration. You don't need 41 points. It's generally 36 or 37. That's how close we are to get into that magical number that's going to allow us to not worry about it. It's going to allow us to concentrate on the cup. It's going to allow us just to look up above us. And it will allow us to hopefully attract players to the club who certainly wouldn't have come last season because they would have seen a club in a relegation battle. Anyway, those are subjects for a different day. Let's just deal with the game and a few of the players as well. I'm chuffed. Look, it wasn't a classic, but I am very, very happy with that result, if not the performance. Let's just deal with their goal because I want to get that sort of out the way. We backed off a bit, let's be fair, but it was a great strike. Pereira is a wonderful player, and I've said before, and I still think it now, by far their best player, and probably the one, if they do, which I think they will go down, probably the one that's destined to keep playing in a top league somewhere, even if it's not the Premier League. Certainly too good to go back and play down in the Championship. But a really good goal, really good strike. I just felt we backed off and invited them on. That's the real only blot on the copybook. Over the last number of games, it's stretched so far back, I can't even sort of remember really. But it's only one goal. We can see one goal. They put 3 past Wolves. So let's just put that into perspective as well. I thought Moyes put out a brave team. Brave for him. Anyway, I think to put Benrahma, to put Lanzini and to put Bowen behind Michail Antonio showed a level of intent, showed that he knew that they weren't going to pose a massive attacking threat, and they didn't. I think they came for the draw. I think when they went behind, they decided to try and get the draw again at a point where they then had it all at 1-1. They went for the draw, basically. You never felt they were going to go and try and win the game. So it wasn't like they were doubling up on our fullbacks or anything like that. Allowed them to play Benrahma. It's also because of that when Fornells came on, Fornells was playing more central than anything else. He didn't need to cover Cresswell. Invariably, the substitution worked, of course. I know I'm going back arse about face, really, and not exactly chronological order. But you think about they made the substitution. Yarmolenko did the nod down, and Antonio kicked it in. I thought it was actually, when I was looking at it, I thought that Yarmolenko's header wasn't great. It was a great cross from Cresswell. But Yarmolenko's header was a little bit behind Michail Antonio, which is why he had to contort his body and do that sort of crazy scissor kick as he was falling over. But look, Antonio's not a striker, hasn't played his whole career as a striker, but that is a striker's finish. It really is. His previous goal and his last goal was a striker's finish. He's got it. I thought he played really, really well, by the way, Antonio, although clearly he was absolutely cream cracker by the end, and it does raise questions and hopefully questions that are going to get answered with regard to the squad and the composition of it and the fact that we need a striker. But again, that's a video for another day. A lot of videos for lots of other days, I think you'll agree. I thought the first goal was really, really good, by the way. But Benrahma did well. He cut back over, didn't he? And then he crossed the ball over. Good cross. What a first time. He recognised the danger, Soufal, didn't he? So he sort of side-footed the cross over. And the chest, that is the finest chest I've seen since, probably Scarlett Johansson in a film the other day. But Jarrod Bowen, Ronald Scarlett, a close second. Chested it in, very clever, very smart. I fancied him to score. I think I said it in one of the videos. I fancied him to score. That's easy. If I say all 11 players, one of them is going to score. Obviously not confident enough to put a bet on it. I'm glad I didn't put a bet on this game, so I was going to bet 3 or 4-0 to West Ham. Didn't quite happen like that, did it? But it wasn't a swashbuckler. I felt in the first, I thought our shooting was... We had a lot of shots. We were the better team. The better team won. But we weren't at our best, as I said. I thought our shots were quite weak. I thought the referee was a little bit soft, actually. I thought we could have let the game flow more. I didn't think it was a particularly dirty game in that respect. I just found it... They tried to make it difficult, but they're not quite good enough at it. That was them sitting back and trying to defend, and they conceded 2 goals. And Allardyce actually pointed to this before, because I think they beat Wolves 3-2. And Allardyce actually said, you know, we can't keep doing that because it means we've got to score 3 to win. And we can't score 3 all the time. And he was absolutely right. So as much as they were organised, they just weren't particularly good. And on a day that we weren't at our fit and firing best, we still managed to score 2 goals. But games like this and results like this are important. Burnley's a nasty, horrible game. I think West Brom will go down, but it is a nasty, horrible game now. You know, I think if Bilic had come along and would have charged that team, it would have been a different game altogether. We could have more played to our strengths a little bit as well. But bearing in mind the fixture congestion, it's quite funny actually, because everyone goes on about Christmas and the New Year. It actually feels like it's a little bit more congested now, actually. And as I said in the video yesterday, it's not until we play Sheffield United that we start to get back to 1 game a week again. I guess hopefully then even we won't, because there'll be a cup, you know, we'll be still in the cup. So at the moment, it ain't about playing well all the time. Great if you can. Actually, it's about picking up the results. And I just think we're doing that really, really well. It allows us to move on to the cup game, which is absolutely great. I think possibly after the cup game, I may be wrong, Crystal Palace, quite possibly. We're in sort of dreamland at the moment. And I'll get on to some of the other players in just a second. And when I say dreamland, I do mean it. It sort of allows you to dream. And when I say dream, mine are quite realistic dreams. So I don't find myself dreaming about a Champions League or winning this, that and the other. My dreams are quite conservative. They are a case of, oh, imagine if we won the next game and got another 3 points. So actually, my next dream is about having 35 points and winning 4 games on the bounce. And talking about, you know, being pleased with small things. Again, that's the West Ham fan inside me. We don't do this. We don't tend to have these runs. I haven't seen the stats. I couldn't do the review with Gio. I had some emergency things to deal with. So I've jumped back down here. So I haven't seen the stats, but I was aware that after we played Burnley, Gio told me that it was our best start to a Premier League since... I don't know. I don't remember the stat. I'm not a stats guy. So I haven't seen whatever, but I bet people are saying something now. I bet there's a statistic out there, and someone will write it down, I'm quite sure, underneath, about this start to the Premier League season, or whatever, it's not a start. And I'm absolutely thrilled with what I've seen. There's been a lot of... Let's talk about Aaron Cresswell, just quickly. Been a lot of talk about Cresswell being finished at left back. And I understand why, and it didn't seem to be working out for him. Yet, here he is now, playing at left back and playing really, really well. A constant threat, it has to be said. And what I like, it seems like David Moyes has identified a weakness in Aaron Cresswell's game, which has allowed Aaron Cresswell to actually just play to his strengths. So, when we play the 3 centre-halves and Aaron Cresswell is the left centre-back, when Aaron Cresswell would be doing his stuff with Masuaku, moving down that left-hand side, Declan Rice would move into left centre-back. I noticed that. I said that a few times. He's doing that at left-back as well. So I was watching Cresswell and Benrahma. We're starting to develop a little partnership there, a little understanding. And what was happening, every time that happened, Declan Rice would move back into left-back, which meant a couple of times, I know they've not got the best wingers in the world in that, but a couple of times that West Brom did break on us, Declan Rice was there playing at left back. Well, of course, that it sort of negates the necessity for Aaron Cresswell to have to sprint back quickly, which of course he can't sprint quickly because we've got just a fantastic world-class player playing in there and just holding that position. So I really loved that. I thought Declan Rice, probably because my video called him world-class, I probably put a curse upon him. The curse, and he wasn't up to his usual standards, but he was trying. He was doing a lot of shots, and I thought he played actually wasn't up to his usual best, which is absolutely fantastic. But he was still better, considerably better than anything that they had as well. I thought the Lanzini and Benrahma thing didn't really work, but I'm not reading too much into that because I think it's the same for a lot of players. It was an average performance from us and a very good result, which I'm happy with. You know, there was a couple of instances that drives you around a twist when Fabianski does run out and he catches the ball and he looks like he's going to roll it, and there was one point and he looked like he was going to do it. And I know I thought he's still going to roll it. I thought, West Brom, don't worry about it, West Brom. He ain't going to throw it out quickly. They managed to play the whole replay. So whatever, the director managed to play the clip of the replay, the cross being coming in. I watched it. After the replay and the clips had played, it was 18 seconds later. 18 seconds, right? Fabianski's still got a ball in his hands. I did have to laugh. And he's there, so, you know, pretending. And do you know what he did? He didn't roll it out. He just booted it out of his hand. I sort of laugh, but I do find it quite frustrating. And my third biggest cheer of the evening was when Fabianski did actually roll the ball out to Declan Rice. I was quite pleased with that. I don't blame Fabianski for the goal, but I do think it was an absolutely fantastic strike. The substitutions, I feel, were the right substitutions, and so it proved, obviously, because of Yarmolenko. Also thought that Fornal was coming into the middle. It was just something a little bit different, and it was enough to win us the game. And Moyes will be pleased because he'll feel that he's done a substitution that's worked. We're just looking through my my notes. Sorry, that was the other thing. One little criticism. I did notice, I thought we made it a little bit harder for ourselves than it needed to be. Because very much in that first half, I was looking at a sort of struggling, particularly Lanzini and Benrahma, because they were so deep, were struggling. I was thinking, get Souček in the box. We just didn't seem to be doing that very much at all. And I just think sometimes, I'm sure Moyes knows this, I'm sure they all know it. And look, we won the game. I'm chuffed. I'm just saying, little things that probably could have made our evening slightly easier was just Souček getting in the box and with instruction to do so, and a few crosses coming over. Because they did sit quite deep, and I can't blame us for lack of men going forward. Antonio was there and Benrahma was there. We were doubling up on them. Cresswell was often in advance of Benrahma. Soufal was getting us. We had all the players there, but we struggled to break them down. But that's what happens when you get, a bank of 5 and a bank of 4. They're tough to break down, but they're just not tough enough to break down. And that, coupled with the fact that they don't score enough goals, will probably be their undoing. The commentator said, actually, he said something quite disgusting. If anyone recognise, it's a bit rude, it's a little bit puerile, so I'm not gonna mention it, but it did make me laugh. If anyone puts it in the comments below, I'll let you know. But there was another part of the commentary where the commentator speculated that Allardyce had made 250 bids. It's such nonsense, right? I don't blame the commentator. Apparently Allardyce was questioned, and they said, are you trying to bring players in? And Allardyce said, we've made 250 bids. It's so funny. Honestly, it's like a kid. It's like a kid exaggerating. You know, I've got 4 kids. They exaggerate all the time. I'm not saying West Brom have been bidding for players, but we've been trying so hard. We bid for 250 players. Bit of a scattergun approach, not like highlighting who you want. And there's poor old West Ham. We've only been linked with 20 strikers. It does look like we're trying for one in particular, though. But again, that is a video for another time. Onwards and upwards. We can really concentrate and look forward to the cup now. So, talking of cups, I'll say goodbye. I will cup my ear to you, and I'll see you tomorrow.